This week on Show Me Your News, predicting the Smash Bros. Reveal in the upcoming September Nintendo Direct, assist trophies that we would want to see as playable characters in the MAILTIME segment, and Final Destination rounds out the 13th week of Smash Blog updates. Masahiro Sakurai, I implore you to... Show me your news! Greetings, Smash fans, and welcome back to Show Me Your News Ultimate, your weekly weekend podcasting source recapping the biggest news in anticipation of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. My name is Peter Spezia, but you may remember me as Yoko. Joining me this week, it's Miles Allen, but you may know him as Super.
I may be Super, but my fantasy team is not.
No, week one of the NFL season, I'm struggling as well. And it's Tony Mattingly, but you may know him as Tony TH.
The Browns didn't lose.
I think I saw the stat. It was like the first tie in game one of an NFL season since
1971.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, man.
0-1.
But this isn't a sports podcast. It's a Super Smash Bros. Podcast. And boy, was it a week. Most of us are feeling pretty rough on today's show. I'm fighting a stomach bug, but we gotta bring a show for you guys. So we're fighting here. Super struggling with allergies. Tony, you're living your almost football dreams. You're on cloud nine right now.
Yeah, I'm mostly okay. I thought I wasn't going to get some sleep, but I actually got some, so that's nice. I'm so sorry you guys feel bad, though.
Yeah, it's a little rough, but we'll pull through just for you guys. Like we mentioned last week, we're also at the halfway point this week. It's been about 3 months since the E3 reveal, and we are less than 3 months to the release date, boys. Knock on wood, assuming that there is no delay. Let's all knock on wood if you're listening right now. Just you're gonna get some weird looks from whoever's around you. It's okay, but we gotta hope for no delay.
Hopefully in this patch heavy age, we're okay.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I think that's what fucked Raw more than anything is it's just kind of harder to patch Wii games.
Or, just all the work that was involved with Subspace. But anyway, if you're listening live on our Discord channel over at showmeyournews.com/Discord, hope you're listening to this happen live, because who knows what could happen. I may have to dash off to the bathroom. Anything can happen. But anyway, you could chat with us there. You can chat with other guests, past and present and future, and even fans such as yourself, again, over at showmeyournews.com/Discord. So let's get right into the top Smash stories this week, and really there's only one big one. I mean, we got news on, it was Wednesday, I think. It really just came suddenly that Thursday, September 6th, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, there will be a Nintendo Direct to talk about Switch and 3DS games. No premise of fall 2018 or anything like that. This could be the big one. It's been quite a while since there has been a large overall Nintendo Direct, not just a Smash Direct or a couple Nindies showcases, but we're a couple weeks out from Tokyo Game Show, and we are actually a couple weeks out probably from Nintendo Switch Online launching, so likely a big focus. Unfortunately, there was a 6.7 earthquake that took place in Hokkaido in Japan, and so it was about at 3 a.m. Eastern Time on that Thursday that Nintendo announced that they will be postponing the Nintendo Direct to a time that is to be determined. Of course, all of our thoughts, prayers, well wishes, condolences go out to those affected by this natural disaster in Japan. It wasn't even the only natural disaster in Japan last week. They got their biggest typhoon in about 25 years. It was so bad that it even tore off the N off the Kyoto Nintendo headquarters building. So you gotta feel for the people of Japan. And, honestly, to anyone who's like, but my Smash or but my video game marketing,
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck
That's
that.
not okay.
It's not okay.
There were some fatalities. There was a lot of people lost when I heard, too. A lot of injured.
A lot of power outage. There's video going around of when all the power just went going down. Yeah, just an awful situation. You could kind of see the supposed some of the announcements were going to be from other companies, because let's be honest, first and foremost, that is not an easy decision to make. Granted, it's a pre-recorded event, and there's all sorts of coordination and marketing and promotion and all that goes on at a worldwide scale.
Working with third parties as well, not just within Nintendo.
Exactly. So, I mean, some people could say that, maybe it was just out of respect for the family, but coming from a PR background in the day job that I do, like, something had to be said for you're not going to start marketing video games so soon after that kind of disaster. And you could even speculate that some of the content could have been seen as very rude or just terrible timing. But again, let's reiterate, it was not an easy decision to make. There has been no date and time announced yet, but for the sake of conversation and for Smash speculation, let's suppose that it gets rescheduled to this coming week. We thought, midway through the week that it's like, oh, geez, they're going to turn around a Nintendo Direct. We'll have lots of stuff to talk about because for a Nintendo Direct, and Sakurai wants to show off more fighters and Echo fighters and all himself, not to be spoiled by leaks. You'd have to imagine that there's going to be at least one character announcement. And we saw the result of this. We're missing an update on the blog.
Yeah.
So something was going to be there on that Friday at the end of the week and did not show up. Now, granted, I'm a little bit surprised that they don't have weeks of updates planned out and they could have just shuffled it around. But it could have been also just out of sign of respect. I mean, again.
How good would it have been if they just put Meta Knight's special moves there?
Oh my God. Not going to lie, I would have kind of enjoyed that. But yeah, I mean, guys, your thoughts on the earthquake delaying the Direct? I mean, some of the reactions you've seen and some of the overall thoughts there.
Personally, I haven't actually seen anyone be awful about it this time around.
You got to dig pretty deep. It's there.
It takes some searching. Yeah.
Generally, it's been pretty respectful and good job on everybody for that. Because God.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to dig for the bad stuff is, really nice this time around.
Fuck yeah.
Best wishes to everyone who's out there, and I am really impressed because a lot of Japan is back up and running from what I've heard. Like, they're really putting everything back together real quick because that's what they do.
Yeah, it isn't the first time they've had tsunamis or typhoons or earthquakes. Like
they're in a rough part of the world for that shit. Like, it just happens.
The consequence of living kind of on tectonic plates, unfortunately.
Yeah, and their response is ludicrously fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear the argument of some person, just some random tweets, nothing specific, but I was reading some people respond of like, well, it's just pre-recorded. Can't they not even being shitty? And then somebody pointed out, and this is just a cultural thing, that like when shit happens to Japan is super worried about Japan. They're isolated. They're on an island. It's just a cultural thing. Mm-hmm. It's just to be expected, and it's a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I can't believe how hyped I get for a Direct within 24 hours, though.
Oh, gosh, it's
I'm not even saying that as like, oh, I can't believe. It's just like, how did I get so hyped within hours of that announcement?
We were trying to coordinate, like, okay, who's going to be home? Can we do like a direct react sort of recording? Can we turn it into content for the Show Me Your News fans? And it's just like, well, that timing doesn't work, but we'll see if and when it gets scheduled again next time. We'd like to do something for that because, yeah, something Smash this way comes. So I guess let's do what we do best and speculate away. There was the take out there. Yeah, you could consider it, amusing or what, but
well, I think I know exactly where you're going with this one.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac from Golden Sun has been in talks of being a playable character for the last month or two now, and he has Earth powers with Gaia. So, yeah, you don't want a splash of something that says Isaac shakes the earth. I mean, honestly, like, that's the worst case scenario, and it turns from, we want to be respect out of the family to, no, God, no, we cannot release this now.
I think that's a strong possibility, too. I don't know what they do, too, because, like, Do you recut the trailer? Do you swap the character out? I'm sure it's like a whole thing to do that.
Or do you hope that, in a week's time, does enough time pass in the cultural consciousness that we're on to the next thing? I mean, sad as a statement as that may be.
Yeah. See, the biggest problem with swapping a character out is that changes their Smash banner reveal.
Yes.
At the very end of the trailer, they put in Dark Samus and Chrom and King K. Rool and Richter and Simon. And this time, if they swap out the characters, their banner has to change.
Thing. Yeah, that is a point.
They can't really go ahead and just swap characters. It's not so easy because it is something that's pre-recorded, so it's all finished, and this is something that can't be swapped.
This whole thing with Sakurai saying that he doesn't want any leaks and he's going to reveal everyone makes me think like this was planned out like a year ago, the whole rollout.
Mm-hmm. Entirely possible.
Like, them randomly announcing this direct too, like
like
a day before, like fuck.
Well, yeah, clearly let's be upfront. We kind of hinted at it before. I mean, the direct is going to delve into Nintendo Switch Online. We're a couple weeks removed from the kind of second half of September that they're aiming for. Does this mean that we'll see online features in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Maybe. But certainly for other games too. But for this show and the purposes of that, like, what is the big reveal? And we can't even just say, well, not Isaac. You'd have to mix that around. And I'm sure Sakurai talks about all of that. But I mean, if it's another character like a Skull Kid, would you want the Apocalypse sort of moon ending sort of motif either? Like, it's tough with some of these rumored characters, unless you say like Bandana Wildly, he can't really hurt anyone, right?
Yeah.
Banjo.
right, yeah.
Goku. He saves all the planets.
Goku would, at this point, we all could use a little Goku.
Yeah, Goku. Whenever he starts yelling, the Earth starts to float around him. Probably not a good idea.
Oh, man, he saved it a whole bunch of times.
So do you think there are any possible other character reveals for Smash that are entirely possible? I mean, I would think, if I had to guess, I think one new character is almost assured. It's a matter of who it is.
I think it's that and one or two more Echoes.
Yeah, I was going to say, 2 Echoes would make sense. I wonder, do they go like the third party route and say Shadow and Ken? Shadow, I think, would at least make sense if they pulled, say, Isabelle and have Isabelle be an Echo and all that, and they don't announce Animal Crossing for Switch. Even as it's coming 2019 sort of thing. I mean, that's the game where a lot of people in Nintendo, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, and all that, they're calling for Animal Crossing on Switch. And so I wonder if you see Isabelle but no Animal Crossing game, like, would that be any sort of fan furor?
Depends how far in development Animal Crossing is.
That game would be a perfect E3 announcement. Like, I don't see that at a direct coming soon.
And yet they don't care. They're so hard to read now.
Yeah.
Like, because they just can... Dude, they announced this direct a day before they were going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And when we find out... Like, here's the other thing about it. It could be, like, Wednesday night, and we could be like, I wonder if they're going to do it this week. And they'll be like, it's tomorrow, like, that day. Like, they're so hard to read. They can do anything. And I think it's brilliant that they can just drop these directs whenever they want. They've cultivated the audience, and they know
for sure
to pay attention to these. These are a big deal, but... I could see that, and I could also see a Pokemon rep if they show off Eevee and Pikachu. Like, they could segue into that.
For sure. And then for those keeping track, Incineroar seems to be the betting favorite on that one if a Pokemon rep is announced.
More big fire types.
Yeah, because we all need more of those. But hey, it's the wrestler motif. It'd be the heel. Yeah.
I mean, I could totally see Incineroar and would like playing. I would have rather Decidueye.
Oh, sure. I would too.
Thank God Luchador Pikachu's in there.
Right? Yeah.
Luchador Pikachu versus Incineroar. That's grand finals.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There's also the possibility of what may leak out because, some of these third-party deals, their announcements, didn't really stop. I mean, we saw news of Civilization 6 on Switch, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition on Switch, the Mega Man 11 demo. That was going to be a available now kind of deal, and suddenly it just appeared. But we also have Sakurai's weekly Famitsu column to consider. Like, has the publishing of that been pushed back as a result? Because you'd imagine that it would be talking about what was just revealed in a direct. So there's been talk in our Discord this week of maybe we get Famitsu leaks out of nowhere. It was such a thing in Brawl to possibly happen, but does it happen now? We'll see this week.
We're gonna see leaks.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for this week. I do think a week will be enough time, and we'll see some Smash news. So hopefully we'll have a big show next week. Look forward to that one for sure.
Really big show. Guarantee you we hear about it Wednesday, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
At least 90.
As far as a small bit of Smash news goes, David Hayter did confirm that he has not yet been reached to record new lines.
That seems contrary to what the kind of vibes he's been giving off, right?
He's excited to do it, and he's approached Nintendo and sent them, whatever he needs to send them to say, hey, I'm ready to record more lines. However, he has not seen anything out of it yet.
Did they usually do that stuff pretty early, you would think?
I would
imagine.
I wouldn't know. I mean, one of the most popular comments on the article was just like, well, yeah, but Mike Myers recorded all of Shrek in 2 days, so...
And the scripts he's used to reading. Phone books, so... It's possible either way. I'm going to be really disappointed if there's no codec.
That would be a sad moment. A lot of people are mentioning that the off-the-hook Splatoon thing will be the new one for this one.
Interesting. That could make a lot of sense, yeah.
Yoshi's Crafted World's name kind of leaked. Kumatori is saying in our Discord chat. I did hear that too.
It sure did. It was all part of
Yoshi's Flippin' World. What a shame.
God damn it. Just more things that were timed up to be revealed and then didn't. Let's get to talking about Rumor Central, though. Rumor Central. So this was an odd one this week. I gotta give a big shout out to Shawzilla listening out there. Must have dug around on our website and found our contact email, because we don't give out the SMYN show at gmail.com address too often on the show, but he wanted to reach out to us with a hot tip.
Cool. And
we'll have the picture here in the show notes, but he took a picture of his GameStop receipt when he went in to do some pre-ordering for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So shout out to Shawzilla, and his email reads, and I quote, I recently went to GameStop to pre-order Smash Ultimate and a couple of the new GameCube controllers. While the clerk was looking up the controllers, he found a listing for wireless GameCube controllers for the Switch. He said he had no idea about them and that the listing was for 3 colors: purple, silver, and gold. We searched the internet for any info and nothing came up. I pre-ordered a couple anyway. Have you guys heard of this at all? The wired GameCube controllers he has listed at $29.99. These wireless GameCube controllers at $49.99 in US dollars. Now, I will say we did not hear about this. This is a really interesting little tip, so thanks again for reaching out to us. That's really kind of cool. But the SKUs on this, at least when you search on GameStop's website, don't necessarily match up. And I don't know if it's different on the website versus the store. I have been away for 3 days. I haven't had time to go into my local GameStop and check. But there's also the possibility that I wonder if these wireless GameCube controllers, what have you, are they third party rip-off? Do you know that they're first party? So I wanted to put it out there, and let's discuss the speculation of, would something like the return of Wavebird, 1, make sense, and 2, would you be excited about it?
I wouldn't call it a Wavebird, because I would definitely say that this is going to be a Bluetooth one.
Oh, yeah.
However, I'm just looking over the wireless, and even though the SKU doesn't make a whole lot of sense, if he's going to grab the wired controller, which we know is happening, I would think that a third-party one would have a different name associated to it.
It is named pretty similarly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's literally the only difference is that it says wireless and then P for purple and G for gold. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this might be unfortunate in to say I think they jumped the gun. GameStop did. I don't know if this is real. I think it's just a mix-up on their end.
For what it's worth, Shawzilla sent this email to us about midday on September 5th. So kind of right around the timing of a direct being announced.
That is interesting.
Very
curious.
Maybe
Maybe he got in before they... Maybe if you had gone in when he did, you might have been able to do the same thing. Actually, that is a fair point. Like, the actual timing on this actually, I feel, matters. You know, I'm going to take that back. This might be real.
Guys, we're game journalists.
Only thanks to our listeners for those hot tips.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's really interesting.
I wonder, though, is this going to be a big deal? Because there's always the concern of wireless lag and all that. I mean...
I believe Smash for Wii U has a built-in 7-frame buffer.
Okay.
So, like, every option, whether it be the GameCube controller, the Sideways Wiimote, whatever it is, that doesn't input until the 7th frame.
Okay.
So, jumping with a GameCube controller is just as fast as jumping on a wireless Wiimote.
Interesting. So, there would at least also be the comparisons between the Smash Brothers Pro controller that we talked about last week. You'd have to imagine if they built a wireless GameCube controller, that it would be built on that same sort of wireless technology. And it also opens up to the possibility of when there's possible, Nintendo Switch Online games that extend beyond NES. Like, do we eventually get GameCube Virtual Console a la sort of games that would play better? I mean, how would the triggers work on this wireless GameCube controller if it's a real thing? A lot of interesting thoughts about what could be.
And beyond all that frame-specific nerd stuff, I'm sure people just want a wireless GameCube controller.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Don't want to take up your USB ports and all that, and it just would be more things to drag along.
Unwrapping of the GameCube controller is like the worst thing at every
It's my favorite thing to watch. Just people, they just both had a real hard game. They're like, one of them's like, fuck, and it's just sort of like, roll them up.
Or how do they do it? There are all sorts of different ways.
I was watching people who are just raging out, just rip their controller out of the console and the console's flying. Or,
oh, God.
Like the freaking, the controller end whips them in the face or whips their opponent in the face, and then they just have an awkward moment. Yeah, those things happen. And they usually happen. They mostly happen to one specific player who I don't hear about anymore these days.
Yeah. All right, well, those rumors, speculation, and all aside, let's get to the crux of the Smash Brothers news this week. You could say it's the Smash Blog updates. We start on Sunday, September 2nd. Today's fighter number 32, Ike. Ike's side smash attack is extremely powerful, but it leaves him open, so you'll need to read your opponent's moves carefully. You can choose between his Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn costumes.
And thank God for that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I hate his Radiant Dawn look, and I love his Path of Radiance look. And I'm just like, thank God, thank God.
Did you know that they sound slightly different?
I don't really care about that part. So, definite changes that you could see right away. Eruption has, as it grows, kind of moves out.
Yeah.
Like, it has a lot more range this time, which is really nice, and something he definitely needed. Outside of that, though, he doesn't look super different. And one of the neat things I saw in there, and this is just something that made me smile, is that during the Great Aether, he does a bunch of sword swings, and then he gets 2 kicks in there. And they have a different crunching sound effect when he kicks them. So it's a neat little piece of quality. But I do love the fact that, like, I kicks you now.
He sure does. How about that?
Like that giant sword that he's one-handing isn't enough. Fucking kick.
It's the first time he's ever kicked his opponent.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
I believe his pummel might be a knee, but, like, he's straight up, like, kicked. Well, actually, he might be smacking with the hilt of a sword. I'm not sure. But I believe this is the first time he has kicked his opponent.
Kumatori points out in the chat, Ike now swings his sword up and over, not whatever his old up air was.
Oh, that weird thing. His old up air was just a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
I like that move.
It was a very strange move for sure. I think it hit stronger on the second swing, but it was a very strange move. I do like the upward swing this time around.
But yeah, I mean, holding the B for eruption, like that's definitely the biggest difference. For that to be a kind of projectile, I mean, that is dangerous.
Yeah, and a much needed change to his playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how it works in midair.
That's a good question. Something we'll have to test when the game comes out for sure. Well, let's get to talking about that second character. Monday, September 3rd, today's fighter number 39, King Dedede. He's not very fast, but he's one of the few heavyweight fighters with great recovery. Apparently, a defeat by Kirby inspired him to train hard to learn a move called hovering, which allows him to float after taking a deep breath.
That's weird.
I mean, Ridley
That's
now.
the reason.
And Charizard. Well, actually, I think Charizard has a terrible recovery in regular Smash. Interesting thing is that I think this is his forward air now, but he, instead of doing this kind of big upward swing, he now has a slightly quicker, like, horizontal swing. You can see in the video. It's interesting. It looks fast, and he uses down tilt in the video to dodge the move, and that's cute.
I love his dumb up B so much. I fight a friend that uses him a lot, and if you like whiff on like the up B and you just go straight down, he's just happy.
Yeah.
He just explodes and dies, and it makes me laugh.
But it is amazing. I mean, we just see with all the different character expressions. I don't know how expressive Ike is, but King Dedede is one who has definitely received the bump in the very expressive face this game.
He was super expressive in the last ones. He just gets a crazy bump in this one too.
I mean, look at his face when he's spinning the hammer for the taunt. I mean, he's so focused.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with this hammer. It's gonna be hammer time.
And here comes the Gordo.
The Gordo into the mouth spitting out is fucking great.
You also got to pause on the frame in the video when he hits his head on the up B of the Great Cave Offensive. I mean, that's just a great still right there.
An interesting moment is that when he spits the Gordo out, you can actually see his tongue. Yeah, no, his tongue comes flailing out of his mouth too.
I don't like that.
You have to pause on the right frame. It's only like a singular frame where it's out.
Cancel the game.
It's all whippy.
Fix that in Fox's mouth, for fuck's sake.
And a wolf's mouth, yeah.
Sorry, yes.
And also good that he keeps his crouch. You know, that crouch of the lounging pose.
That is legitimately a concern of mine. I fucking love that. It's a taunt.
Yeah, we definitely used it as one back in the day, like the hoo pose.
Yeah.
But yeah, no final smash. Except, we know that it's the mass Dedede, but you would have thought that like they show all these final smashes in these character trailers, but no, I guess we got to end on a red forward smash up against Snake. So okay.
Yeah, it's probably more Banana D.
Maybe.
Banana D. Banana D.
Banana D.
No, we needed to see that crouch. That was the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. The screenshot here of balancing the Pokeball on the hammer. Man, that took some timing. Kudos to the photo crew there.
I wonder if it was an accident and they were just like, oh.
Yeah, you only need to Z drop it, so you're good.
And I didn't know that some of the barrels in Wrecking Crew had googly eyes.
Oh, they only have googly eyes if there's a fighter stuck in them.
Oh. Well, damn. I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah. When you break like the supports and the barrels fall down, if you're under one of them, you get stuck in the barrel and you get googly eyes.
Mm-hmm. And then sucking up the bomb. Definitely a better slate of screenshots there, but we're not really seeing the range of Dedede's outfits. It's all the default red.
Usually the last one is, but
right, yeah.
Boy, the fur on his coat in the render is like impressive.
God, yeah. It's
so poofy.
It's so warm.
Just amazing how far we've come. That's for sure. All right, well, it's time for the music update this week on Tuesday, September 4th. Today's music, you can now listen to Fortress Boss, Super Mario Bros. 3. Enjoy this arrangement by Akihiro Honda while reminiscing about the bosses that have tried to stand in Mario's way. Let's take a listen to that excerpt.
So I sent a message in our little chat that I think it was funny. I've never heard the song longer than 7 seconds.
The original, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh my
God. You just hit that little Koopa guy like fucking a bunch of times and it's over, and you get the little question mark and the key door opens and you just go next level and the sun chases you.
It's done. It's over. No, this is a really good remix though. I definitely an improvement on last week's main theme, Yoshi's New Island, but yeah, getting the violin in this one. Akihiro Honda, for those that don't know, a Metal Gear composer. So we're getting the crossovers here. He's got composer credits on The Phantom Pain. Peace Walker, he did the main theme there. Even some Zone of the Enders and on Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles as well.
Always good.
Yeah, at least according to IMDb.
That violin is such a Metal Gear thing too.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you tell me you're a Metal Gear composer, I'm just like, yeah, no, I can see it.
Kind of sounds like that actiony love theme. I don't think he did that.
I'm not sure if he did.
But that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Right.
A very good mix. I'm very happy with it.
If we can't get Jun Sonoe for a Sonic interpretation, Metal Gear, we'll take Metal Gear. But yeah, finally a Mario song added to the music part of the website.
We all guessed different people, different series, and we all forgot that we hadn't seen the damn mushroom yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll still stick to my Pokemon guess for next week.
I'm going to stick to Star Fox.
I'll go Pokemon.
Really? All right.
Yeah. I'll jump on his bandwagon.
I guess in hindsight, it depends on what kind of announcements we'd get in a direct. Wouldn't
true.
It? So,
well, I think that's a wild card play then.
Yeah, I mean, if we could throw it out there and say it'll be a brand new series based on the character that could be revealed.
It's Dragon Ball. I don't know what to tell you guys.
It's Rock the Dragon there. Done by Jun Sonoe. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The logo's almost done. It's so easy. It's just a 1-star bar. But what if they go with the 4-star bar?
Oh, man. It is a good music update, though, this week. Very, very happy with that. We got a stage, though, this week. Also on the 4th, today's stage, Final Destination. Though this is a simple stage with no stage hazards or floating platforms, the background has been updated for this game. Make sure you don't get too distracted and get defeated. I guess I haven't had that said to me about any stage. Like, don't look at the background too much.
Might be a call out to the fact that in Smash 4, that was a reason why they didn't play on Final Destination all that often, is because the background would flash a brilliant white in the middle of the fight, and it would be super distracting. So I'm not sure if he's meaning that's going to happen again, but it is definitely something that some people could fear from this one.
Man, look at that sunset in the nighttime shot, though. Like that, whatever that is, it's gorgeous.
The darkness shot. I'm looking at it. I like it a lot. It's really busy on the bottom. Like, it's just juts out. Someone's gonna poke an eye.
Yo, shoot your eye out, kid.
Trying to slide up that side. It ain't gonna happen.
I'm a little worried. I'm just looking at the dimensions of what's going on here. I'm wondering if it's going to be symmetrical on either side. Because there's a slide up on the right side, but on the left side, there's a jut. So I'm not sure if characters will get trapped on the left side more than the right.
I don't think so.
Well, it happened in Battlefield in Smash 4, so
did it?
Yeah, on the right side you could get trapped under the lip, and then the left side was better, or the other way around. But
what happens if you Omega the Final Destination stage?
I don't know.
It's only just like a thin piece of stage, like nothing fancy under it. Be more broken. I do wonder if they designed the bottom like that to try to avoid something like, Meta Knight camping, the gliding under it and all that.
Yeah.
or try to limit it at least. I don't know how much you can actually outright avoid it.
Well, they changed Meta Knight pretty substantially in the last game, so. But otherwise, I think it's cool. It's an odd engine theme this time around, instead of kind of like a mystical theme or a spaceship theme. Now we've got something that looks like it belongs in Star Fox Assault.
Kind of does, right? With the old screenshots that had Fox on there, and we're like, I wonder what that is. That looks like it could be Final Destination.
Fox only Final Destination.
Wow. It's a nice looking FD though. Like I'm happy how that one turned out for sure.
Yeah, it's starting to look like they're going for more of a Windows Media Player background feels to the back there.
What about Winamp though, man?
Man.
Those were the days. God, we're old.
You got to use Winamp to listen to BRSTMs.
Yeah, that is true. And on Wednesday, September 5th, today's item, Pokemon Alolan Exeggutor. Check out this tall Pokemon. 4 A's right there. It may seem like it just gets in the way, but it can actually make it harder or easier for you to get a KO, depending on where it's placed on the stage. I don't know about that.
He's tall.
He is tall, but even if you put it close to the edge, like, okay, now you got a wall there.
Limits their options to going over you, though. So,
I mean, if you're into the wall, though, that's kind of nice.
If you're Ike and you put that down right behind you, and you got just Exeggutor right there, and you just charge your
the eruption
forward smash, they can't go over you too easy unless they can wall jump.
Timber.
They can cling, they can wall jump, but if they're a character that can't do that, that's going to really affect their ability to outrun you.
It is funny seeing the different people talk about, like, oh, it's going to be the challenge, like, who can jump over Alolan Exeggutor? Like, who has the recovery to do that? And, like, that'll definitely take wall jumping, if at all.
One thing that's kind of funny is that on that second image, that Shadow is not having a good time.
Oh, I almost meant, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, did it get leaked? Oh, yeah. That's an odd shapes.
Yeah, Bayonetta's butterfly wing double jump is present, but she's not actually using them. And Exeggutor's head, everything about that is just wrong.
Yeah.
They did their best.
Yeah, so I guess whenever Bayonetta's in the air, she keeps the butterfly wings, but when she clings, there's no call for them, but they didn't take out the Shadow for the butterfly wings. Interesting that she was used as the wall cling, like, showing off the wall cling twice.
Yeah, right.
Squirtle's back in the game, guys. Let him wall cling.
Yeah. Give Squirtle some more love. Jeez.
But I'm looking at that background on the first shot, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Big Blue.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it.
It looks like Metal Harbor.
It kind of does, doesn't it? That's Shadow stage, guys. He's getting a stage. Oh, my God.
The one that he's not in. That's a Sonic stage.
Good song, though. I want that in Smash. That's the way I like it in Smash, please.
I mean, Sonic's got space for a few new ones with all the tracks that he has supposedly.
I want them to remove some scrap brain and shit like that.
Oh yeah, God no. So on Thursday, September 6th, yeah, as we said before, no update is blank. It's not posted. It's not there. So hopefully that gets resolved this week. I guess it does go to show that, like, I would have been not surprised if things got shuffled around, but now nothing being posted definitely lends itself to Smash speculation for this direct.
100%. Which I don't think was even a question. Like, of course, Smash was probably going to show up.
No, I mean, you could say that, like, I'm not going to get my hopes up and then I'll be pleasantly surprised. But they're talking about games, especially for the fall, and online games at that. Smash was going to come up to some extent.
Yeah, that pretty much makes it not even any doubt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's get to the mail time segment.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
You can send us mail time questions over on our Discord channel over at showmeyournews.com/Discord. I mean, we have a whole section devoted to it there for mail time questions, but you can also send us tweets on Twitter at showmeyournews. This week's question is posted by Zenjestr. if Sakurai had a special Fighter Ballot this time around, where we could select any 2 KOable assist trophies, so No Moon, Nintendog, Pong, etc., as playable fighters, who would you expect to win, and who would you want to win? So if assist trophies this time around had to be turned into playable characters. I mean, let's get it right out of the way.
1,000% Waluigi.
Exactly. Everyone's going to want Waluigi. But outside of that, who would you expect to win besides Waluigi?
Shadow, which I don't think is in question anymore. And after that, I think Zero. I really think Zero would have a chance.
Mm-mm.
I'm like sad Zero's not playable.
Yeah, it's got to be Zero.
A lot of support for Crystal out there, and Bomberman would have been really nice to see just as some sort of Hudson representative.
Bomberman's a bummer too. Yeah.
Yeah.
My expect to win would be either Crystal or Knuckles to win. And who I'd want to win, I would want Knuckles and Crystal.
Really? Really not Zero?
Fuck Waluigi.
Zero's great. I want Zero like really bad. But I'm like, Zero, you've been in a lot of fighting games. You can take a break.
I want Shovel Knight. I'm still bitter.
That's
and you
a good
know,
point. I forgot about that.
kudos on Yacht Club. Just to get their game represented at all. It's got to be the biggest honor for them. But man, Shovel Knight would have made the best playable character.
I think whenever Shantae too, we still haven't seen either hair of her hair.
Ah.
But yeah, I think Shovel Knight's when we get a next Smash game, because let's be honest, I think Shovel Knight will be a very big contender.
I think so too. Yeah, especially, I mean, there's got announced with their the King of Cards, and they have their own sort of Shovel Knight fighting game with Shovel Knight Showdown. I mean, that's all on April 9th, but that'll be a big wrapped up thing by that point.
I want a Bomberman stage, and I want the music to be the Bomberman 64 commercial song. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but if you do, shout out to you.
I really thought Sukapan could have had like a very outside chance of being the retro WTF character this time around.
Sukapan with Rayman Echo.
Yeah, right.
And not the other way.
Sure. No, it's a good thought. Good question. I really appreciate all of that. Well, that'll do it on this shorter episode. My stomach's really trying to hold it together. So apologies if it was a down week, but you know, I think it had some interesting speculation and discussion there. We're going to keep ourselves hyped for a direct this coming week.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
So you guys playing anything in the meantime, or?
Super talk about Mega Man 11.
Mega Man 11? I don't know what you keep on expecting out of me. I didn't grow up with the original Mega Man. I played X. So Mega Man 11 was the biggest disappointment in the sense that I didn't care too hard to begin with.
Okay.
And so when I started playing, I'm just like, okay, this is definitely like in a Mega Man game. Then he started talking, and I'm like, that's not the voice Mega Man should be having, but okay, I can rock this. And then one of the items, and I'm like, oh, cool, these items are actually interesting. And I can use them like 4 times. Awesome. So that's a thing. And then like I'm going through and I'm like, these enemies are taking way too long to kill. Like way too long to kill. Like everything seems to be built around the gear change thing they're doing.
Yep.
And that's a problem because it's like you don't have to use these if you don't want to. Yeah, but you made it so it doesn't matter. I feel like I have to if I want to have a good time. Overall, like it's just a lot of like quote unquote changes to the formula that don't make it more interesting. It just makes it more of a hassle. And if I had to put the two together, I would probably choose Mighty Number 9 over Mega Man 11 at this point.
Hot take, Jesus.
Yeah, I've heard all this on Twitter. I'm like, I definitely want him to mention all this on the show. I thought it was fine. I thought he moved good.
He moved fine.
I'm just terrible at these games. Like I tried it. I put it on newcomer difficulty and I still was terrible. So I'm just bad at Mega Man games.
When you use the words Mega Man 11 is the Dimp's equivalent of a Sonic game to a Mega Man game, and you say the movement's fine, fuck you. That's an insult.
Look, movement was the point of Sonic.
That is true.
Jumpy shoot is the point of Mega Man, and I feel like they fucked that up.
Okay. We'll see. Maybe that was a bad stage.
they made the shoots not so fun. And like a lot of the enemies just don't feel like they're weighted around Mega Man. They're just like, this is the way this enemy is, not how Mega Man interacts with that enemy.
I couldn't beat the one that had a big wheel around him. I could never shoot in the hole to kill it.
Meanwhile, I beat the Messenger.
Did you like it?
I loved it. If
Cool.
you really liked Shovel Knight, you owe it to yourself to play the Messenger. Man, it's good. It's really, really good. And I'm super hyped for Spider-Man. I've been, again, out for 3 days. Got it on my PS4, locked and loaded, ready to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, do that up. I need to wait for the Messenger and Celeste.
Oh, yeah, Celeste is really good. Those are the two best indie games that came out this year, I think, so far. It's really a toss-up for people. But for me, I'd put Messenger over Celeste. Both excellent, though.
Yeah, I'm probably going to wait for sales. Games are more likely to get sales down the line than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to touch much lately still. I'm just kind of still waiting.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. Let's speculate some more about the Direct in our Discord channel there if you're listening in, and if it's been announced yet. If it hasn't yet, we'll wait and see. For Super, who's over on Twitter at SoulHarath, and Tony, who's on Twitter at TonyTH_GHH. You can find me on Twitter at PeteSpeakeasy. We'll see you next time. With that, I'm Yoko. We're out. Show me your news.